Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And Taurus, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 20th to the 26th. This week we have the Answer the Call Oracle card, and we have the Taurus Oracle card behind that from the Yogic Path deck. We have the Eight of Wands, the King of Cups, the Seven of Swords, High Priestess, Three of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. So I'm feeling there could be a situation here where you feel let down by a King of Cups. Now, we'll get into the tarot soon, but it could be a variety of different characters in your life, you know, mentor, boss, husband, father, father-in-law. You know, that Seven of Swords energy can be feeling like they weren't honest with you. There may be some kind of deception because there's levels to it, guys. You are being asked to trust your intuition this week, and that potentially something will be revealed about that situation that's going to lead to a change. And we have like a lot more fulfilling opportunities coming through for you in terms of emotional fulfillment, joy, and love. So whether there's going to be a change in the situation, you're going to reconnect with that person, or there could be new opportunities on the romantic front, or things that are really just going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you. So we'll go to the tarot in a moment. I'm going to head over to the oracle cards. We have Answer the Call. I'll read that one out in a moment. And we have the Taurus oracle card here. I think that's very fitting for now, guys. This one here says that potentially you're in a period of hibernation. And, you know, obviously a lot of us we're self-isolating, so that's a perfect kind of metaphor for that. It can be that sort of feeling of maybe feeling a little bit lethargic, you know, not very energetic, or needing to take rest. So just keep that in mind this week. And, you know, it really says that times of Taurus are only balanced when we then move into action. So it's saying this week that might be a time to hibernate and take time out, but then obviously, you know, you're going to need to move into action to balance that out later. And we have Answer the Call, which really says that your soul is calling you to answer some kind of, you know, longing or moving into a different state, maybe pursuing an opportunity, maybe answering the call of your intuition around the situation. So I'm just going to read that one out, and then we'll go to the tarot. Your guidance is divinely guided, and you're being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary, it might not make sense, but if you trust your soul's yearning, you will live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for. It's what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, this is your call. That is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a plan before they take the first step, but intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul, and that's why most people don't do it. But you, Taurus, are not like most people. So it's really saying to trust your intuition this week and trust the calls that you are being, you know, asked to answer. I think it's definitely what's leading you towards this Ace of Cups. But let's start here. We've got the Seven of Swords and the King of Cups in your recent past, or the energy that you might be on the threshold at the moment. And yeah, these two did actually come out together. And what I was really feeling with this combination is that some of you feel some kind of let down from a King of Cups. Now, as I mentioned before, the King of Cups can be an older male in your life. It could be a boss or mentor, father, father-in-law, husband, older romantic partner. Some of you might feel, you know, might have lost your job or had a communication from, you know, a boss or mentor in your workplace saying that, you know, you're being let go, or your hours are being cut, that sort of thing. And you might feel, you know, you might feel a bit deceived. You might feel a bit let down. Maybe you were led to believe something else. Can be that kind of situation. It could be, you know, in the self-isolation period that we're going through, that you're seeing another side of a family member or a partner, and maybe seeing that they might have been quite a different person to what they've led you to believe before. You know, it can be somebody showing you two different sides of their face, you know, sort of being a little bit two-faced. And you know, the other levels to this card, it can be someone maybe taking from you, but usually the swords is this intellectual energy, so it's really about maybe them taking from you on an emotional level, or in terms of harsh words against you, or manipulation, that kind of thing. So obviously it's not an overly comfortable energy, and you might not sort of know if it is a deception. Maybe you're sort of having intuitions about it this week, but it really hasn't come out yet. That's what I'm also feeling, and I think that's why the High Priestess is here, because the High Priestess really asks you to trust what you're feeling in your gut, in your heart, and your intuitive centers this week. The High Priestess is also the revealer of mysteries and truths. She can bring information to light from the subconscious, from the shadow side. So you could learn something about this person or about this situation that gives you the information you need in order to communicate with that person, in order to resolve it. And I really feel that once you clear the situation, it's going to have you moving into a time of much greater emotional fulfillment, where you really can answer that call of the portal of your heart. So then we have this Eight of Wands here, which I really think is that communication, or that the action that you might need to take in order to confront this person or have an honest conversation. It might not be somebody that you live with, because the Eight of Wands can talk about communication that happens over the airwaves, SMS, social media, email, telephone, that kind of thing. But also the Eight of Wands really talks about swift change. So I feel that once you, trust your intuition and maybe talk to this person, then there really is going to be a change in energy in the situation. And it can be a very swift change, as I mentioned before. And there is a sense of, divinity about the Eight of Wands. These wands kind of come out of the heavens. So I really feel like this is, bringing some sense of life lesson maybe to the other person, or maybe to yourself, to actually, speak up and communicate and say, hey, I don't like what you've been doing, or I've seen another side of you, or, I know what you've taken from me. It can be that kind of thing. So it's quite a specific reading today, guys, so it won't be for everyone. I'm just reading the energies of the cards. And, we do have that Three of Cups in the reading as well. I really think that this means that you're going to be celebrating much more emotionally fulfilling times in the near future. However, it can also link to a third party energy with the situation, which of course can be somebody maybe, flirting or playing around with somebody in person or on social media, that kind of thing. Or it could also be, if this is a workplace situation, being played off against another colleague, or maybe you've been let go and the other person hasn't, because they might have a better skill set, or what's perceived to be better, that sort of thing. But in your near future, you've got the Ace of Cups and the Three of Cups. So I feel that once you clear the situation, you're either going to move into a much greater sense of emotional fulfillment within that situation, or you might be leaving someone or something behind, and then you have the opportunity to attract in situations, people, events that are a much stronger vibrational match for you, that really answer the call of your soul. Because when we sort of let somebody go, or we clear a situation, we make energetic space to then magnetize in new situations. And the Ace of Cups, it really is a new offering of love, fulfillment. It can be a link to self-love, but it can be somebody coming in as well. And the Ace of Cups normally presents itself to somebody after a darker time, or after they've gone through a transformation, because these are lotus flowers on the surface here. And if you know about the lotus flower, it starts its journey in the mud in the bottom of the pond, and it follows the light up to the surface where it blooms. So some of you might have gone through a bit of a transformation, a bit of a personal journey. Maybe this is your personal journey to actually resolve the situation and confront situations that make you feel uncomfortable. It could be that. But yeah, it could be somebody coming in for romance. Whatever it is, I think you're going to be feeling very joyful, very celebratory. The Three of Cups shows these people that are also celebrating the harvest. So it kind of tells me that everything that you've done leading up to this moment in this situation is all setting it up for, success, for celebration in the near future. So yeah, that's really exciting energy, guys. Ace of Cups is a really beautiful card to get in your reading. Okay, I'm just going to pull a couple of keyword cards to close out the message, guys. I'll just give them a quick shuffle and then I'm going to choose. Let's see what comes up. Oh, simplicity. Honestly, this card has come out for 3 readings so far. Let's get one more. Oh, that one there. Giving. Yeah, so simplicity, I really feel that that's coming out at the moment, you know, linked to the situation we're in. It's about getting back to basics, getting back to, you know, also peeling back the layers, getting back to what was really, you know, meaningful in our lives. A lot of us are really sort of being confronted by that at the moment through the self-isolation period. So, you know, simplicity for me is about, you know, now that we're away from all the distractions in our lives and the fancy restaurants, shops and all that sort of thing, we're really being asked to, you know, tune into that portal of the heart and, you know, really think, okay, where do we want to head for it with our life now? And really, how can we answer that call? And sometimes it takes a moment of stillness, of simplicity in order to get to that place. And giving, you know, the Three of Cups shows people that are sort of giving to each other and celebrating. You know, maybe see if you can help out a friend or a neighbor this week as well. You know, moving into a place where instead of somebody taking from you, maybe, you know, you're going to be surrounded by more giving energy this week. Okay, Taurus, I know it's a very specific reading this week, but I hope it did resonate for a couple of you. Do, you know, keep in mind it is a general reading, so obviously it won't be for everyone. Feel free to leave me a comment because I always love to know, you know, if it resonates and how it's playing out in your daily life. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.